Yo guys, and welcome to a new review. Today I will be talking about weapons. Alright, so I just came back from America. I just came back 3 hours ago actually, and on the last day of my trip to America, I went back to the Hollywood Boulevard, the TCL Chinese Theater, which has the largest capacity of a room in the world and also the third largest IMAX screen in the world, and I managed to see Weapons on that screen. It was genuinely the best experience I've ever had, and I would be lying if I would say that I did not cry a little bit when I was watching this movie in that place. Alright, with that being said, today we will be talking about the movie Weapons. It's from Zach Cregger, the guy that also made Barbarian, a movie I genuinely really loved, and I also really hated because I wanted to watch it on the big screen, but they decided to put it on Disney Plus instead, and I felt like that movie was supposed to be watched on the big screen. With that being said, today we have a movie of him that is being put on the big screen, and I have to say Weapons is incredible. It's genuinely such a great fucking year for horror movies, original horror movies. We have Sinners, we have Together coming next week, we have this one, we have so many great movies, so many great horror films, and I have to say this one knocked it out of the park as well. It's genuinely incredible. The story is not at all what I expected it to be, because the trailers of this movie do the movie justice, of course, but they tell the story that they are about to tell in a very unique way. Like, we have the voiceover of the kid is telling that it's 2:17 in the morning, everyone from this one little classroom suddenly walked out the door, ran away into the forest, and was never seen again. That's the premise of this movie. That's absolutely incredible. The way that the trailer put out the feelings was by far among the best portrayals of feeling that you were supposed to feel. It was incredible. It genuinely made me incredibly excited, and I knew from that point on that this movie would be phenomenal. But the story and the way they decided to tell the story was something I did not expect. I expected something more in the ranks of Prisoners from Denis Villeneuve from 2013. I thought that was an incredible portrayal of a missing children movie. This one does it in a completely unique and a completely different way by telling the story from perspectives. And I'm gonna keep it vague so you will still be... I've been in America for 3 weeks. How do I not know the word? Surprised when you go see the movie. So it's told from different perspectives, and those different perspectives each give you a little bit more of the puzzle to figure out what happened to these children in these woods on that night at 2:17 a.m. With that being said, that's the best way to say it without spoiling anything. And I do have to say, if I should give this movie one piece of criticism, I would probably say that I wish that they could have kept the mystery going on a little bit longer. I don't know if it was just me being fast with figuring it out, or that the movie was just that blatantly obvious, but I am an idiot, so I do think that the movie was just blatantly obvious on what was actually happening. And I got it pretty fast, and I maybe would have wished that it took a little bit longer, that I wouldn't have seen it coming so incredibly fast. And I saw it from around the halfway point. Still didn't make the movie any worse. It was just that I did not have that point of figuring it out with them that I so incredibly genuinely love in a movie like this, in a mystery movie like this. It's also not really that big of a horror movie in my opinion. It's more of a thriller than a horror movie, but definitely has the elements of being a horror movie. But if you get scared of horror movies, but if you do like thrillers, I would recommend going to see this movie because the horror elements aren't that big. So you should definitely give this one a chance, as it is highly recommendable and highly worth it. Every character in this is great. Every decision that they make is great. Every piece of writing is great. This movie, I have a lot of people seen talking about the fact that this movie was slow-paced. Some people are saying it is fast-paced. I would probably say this movie is perfectly paced. It's slow in moments when it needs to be slow, but it's also incredibly fast in certain scenes and certain aspects when it needs to be fast and when it can handle that faster pacing. And I would definitely say that there is no single scene in this movie that I would say is expendable. I do think every single second and every single dialogue and every single word uttered is absolutely necessary for the story they are about to tell and for the story they are conveying to us. So this movie is not only not incredibly overlong or not incredibly shortened, it's perfect in every single way. Its third act is incredibly different from the first two acts, and in a movie as jam-packed with 1,000 guys watching this one and everyone was just genuinely being scared but also laughing their asses off at the same time, it's a feeling I haven't felt since Midsommar. We all know which scene in Midsommar, Ari Aster 2019, but in this one they dialed it to 11 and that third act is absolutely diabolical. I think that's the right word for it. The third act is diabolical. I do think the third act is a hit or miss for a lot of people. For me, it definitely was a hit. I loved it. I loved every single second of it. I thought it was perfect. I thought it summed the movie up perfectly. I thought it made incredibly sense. It made sense so incredibly well for that mystery to be gone that early on. It made sure that you could have this kind of fun while also being traumatized at the same time in that third act. I do think Weapons is one of the best movies of the year, one of the best horror movies of the year, and not only just of this year, but probably also of this entire decade and maybe even this century. Starting from 2000, of course. All right, what did you think of this one? In the end, I will give this one 5 stars in the heart. I do think it was perfect, and my only criticism is that I wanted the secret to be going on for a little bit longer, but the way that they handled it in the end right now was also incredibly great. What did you think of this one? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on this one, and I would like to see you, and I would like to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.